If you want to know how I was able to obtain funding for my business with no personal or no business credit check, then keep on watching. What's up, SD Besties, spy hustlers, and beauty business owners? I hope you guys are doing well. If you are new to the channel, my name is Brooke Ebony. I am a licensed esthetician. I have owned and operated my own spa for 6 years. 5 of those years I did it solo, and over here in my little corner of the internet, we talk about business, we do service demos, we do extractions. I might hit y'all with a little vlog. I love to do wax story times. So if you are here for that, go ahead on and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and we are going to get right into the content. All right, y'all. So the way that I was able to obtain funding for my business without a personal or a business credit check was through my Square credit card processor. So the type of loan that this is called is a merchant cash advance loan, which means they'll give you a large lump sum up front, and then you'll pay them back with a percentage of your credit and debit card sales throughout the life of the loan. So if you don't process your debit and credit card payments through Square, it's all right, because most of these credit card processors offer this type of loan. Now, before we go any further, I do want to say that I think MCA loans are a little predatory. If you're getting it through your card processor, it may be a little less predatory, but for the most part, if it's not through whoever you are processing your debit and credit card payments, it's probably not a good idea to get one. But make sure you do your own research. Okay, y'all, so I can tell you all about Square's processing loan process, but I cannot tell you about any others because I have not gotten a loan through any of them, but I have gotten several MCA loans with Square. Now, I will say I try to run all of my transactions through Square. Any electronic transaction I try to run through Square, simply because that's who's fooling me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fool with who fool with me. So if you are taking transactions, debit or credit, I would say definitely try to run it all through one payment processor if you are interested in getting this type of loan. As in, if you use PayPal, only use PayPal in person and online. If you use Shopify in person and online. You know, run all your transactions through one payment processor. I had to back up off the screen a little bit because I was all up in your face, and I did not mean to be all in your face like that. That was even a bit much for me. I do apologize, darling. But the reason that I say to run all of your transactions through one credit card processor is because, for the most part, most of the credit card processors' requirements is that you run a certain amount of transactions over a certain period of time. So I know for Square, for their capital loan, as they call it, you would have had to have ran $10,000 over the course of a year to be eligible for that loan. All right, so let's get into some other requirements from Square, because you know I don't know about the other ones. Google it. Google is your friend. But some of the other requirements for Square's capital loan is the frequency of the transactions that you're doing. So that means the amount of debit and credit cards that you are swiping or dipping or tapping per day. And then the customer mix, which is how many new clients are you bringing in versus old clients. So a good customer mix is going to be needed. And disputes. Have you had any recent disputes? And usually it's nothing over 3. I think it's nothing over 3. You can't have no more than about 3 disputes. So make sure you're dipping if you can dip. And that's dipping the card. You know, I just want to make sure that I put that in there, that make sure if you can dip those cards, to dip them. If you still have that old school Square reader where it doesn't accept a dip, you need to go ahead on and throw that in the trash. Just throw that on away, darling. And just go ahead and go to Target or Walmart. Yes, they do have the readers right there. You don't have to order it from Square. You can go to Target, Walmart, Best Buy. Get you a reader that you can dip the cards. So that way, if they do, you know, if somebody does file a dispute against you, you have even more chances of winning that dispute. All right, y'all. So moving right along to the next requirements. If you have multiple Square accounts and those accounts have loans that are past due or overdue, or even if they just have loans, then you may get denied. Any failed debits, which means if you have other subscriptions with Square, if you're using their loyalty program, or if you have an online store with them, most of the time you have to subscribe to that stuff. And so if they try to debit your card and that debit fails, that will affect your eligibility for getting a loan as well. Any recent declines on other apps. So like if you've applied before, and it got declined, then you're probably going to get declined again. Pretty much is what it's saying. I'm trying to back up off the screen, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me and just being all up in the screen. But anyways, so the last thing, and probably not the final because it is Square and they can do what they want to do with their money. So, but the last one is if your account has recently been under review, as in they thought you were doing fraud or you were selling something that they don't allow you to sell. Like they just started allowing people to sell CBD products, or if you know what I'm saying, using it for, your man got his other little transactions going on and they find out, I hope y'all not doing that, Lord, please. But anyway, so if your account has recently been under review, that can affect whether or not you are eligible for a Square Capital loan. All right, so now that we got all the requirements out of the way, you can't just go and apply for this loan. They will send you an invitation to apply. So there is an application that you will have to fill out, which is mostly filled out for you because they already have all of the information anyway. But they will send you an invitation either via email or on your dashboard. So for me, it has been both. And I think back then the requirements was $20,000 over the course of a year. So they didn't drop it down. But I got my first capital loan with Square, not maybe like a year in, I think it was, when they sent me the invitation. Girl, I was too shocked, honey. I just couldn't believe it. So I got the notification, I believe, on my phone. So I guess it was just like a little push notification. And I was just thinking to myself, like, is this me that they meant to send this to? Little old me with the bad credit, honey, because my personal credit was trash. And I hadn't even started establishing business credit because I didn't know anything about it. So I just could not believe it. And so I did my little research because y'all know I love to research. Yeah, I got all up in Google and all up in Square's little articles and all of that. And I found out that it's based off of your relationship with them, the amount that you have processed with them. Not my personal credit and not my business credit. And when I say the loan came through right on time, baby, honey, he may not come when you want him to, but baby, he's right on time every time, honey. And I politely took the loan. I did. I definitely took the loan once I learned that they just take a percentage of your daily sales. Not every single day. On the days that you make sales, they take a percentage from that to pay back the loan. So if you're not that responsible, or if you are, you know what I'm saying, you a little new to credit or whatever, you don't have to worry about defaulting on the loan unless your business gets closed down or gets really, really slow or something like that, because they only take that percentage on the days that you make sales. I know PayPal's is they take it every day. It don't matter if you make sales or not, which is kind of weird. But, I feel like Square doing a good job with that. Kudos to Square. So the percentage that they take of your daily sales depends on the amount of the loan. So I don't remember what it was when I first started out, but I will, transparently tell y'all that the last loan amount that I took out with Square was for $10,000. And I think I'm paying like 18% back. 18% of my daily sales is what's being taken out now to pay the loan back. And don't quote me on that because I did not check. But I just remember thinking like, damn, the higher the amount that you take, I see the higher the amount that they take. You know what I'm saying? But if you use that loan, you flip it like you should, then you'll be making more money. So it's really no different than what, they've been doing in those little bitty loans little bitty loans. And the small amount of loans that they gave you in the first place, because usually it starts at about 800. It might be a little less for some. It might be a whole lot more for others. The amount of the loan is determined by the amount of transactions that you have processed within that year. I think that's for the first initial one. So I think my first loan with Square was probably like $800. I think they was like, we just gonna throw her a little bone and see how she act. We gonna see if she bring it back. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I brought it right on back to them. But for the most part, the amount of your loan is determined by the amount of transactions that you have ran within that year's time. So I think when I got my first offer, I had just hit like 20,000. I think I was at like 21,000. Honey, I just was so proud, even though it was $800. Like I was so proud. Like I had got a business loan, honey, a whole business loan. And the best thing about that loan is that it was just one flat rate, as in it's not a floating interest rate, or they can add on a late fee if you just so happen to not meet the minimum payment threshold that they have every 3 months, I believe it is. It's just one flat rate, as in I took out 10,000, I have to pay back, I believe, 11,400. So they charged me 1,400 for taking out the loan. Don't quote me on that. But I will say that's a little high of an interest rate. But at the same time, when your credit is trash, it's to be expected. You know what I'm saying? And if your credit ain't trash and you think that that interest rate is outrageous, then don't take the loan. Just don't take the loan. But it's just that one flat fee that you will have to pay them back. It's not a floating interest or, you know, late payment add-on and more interest if it's late, all that stuff. Nah, they ain't doing that. So I'm not going to go into everything that comes along with this loan as far as requirements and as far as, you know, the amount of time that you have to pay it back and all of that. You guys can go look that up. Definitely do your own research. I just wanted to let you guys know how I was able to obtain funding and how I still obtain funding for my business that's not based on my personal credit or my business credit. And I keep saying that because people will always tell you that you can get, you know, business credit without your personal credit. If you're trying to get big bank money, honey, that personal credit score needs to look like something. So don't be out here buying all these courses and things from folks that's telling you that they can get you big bucks and your personal credit be trash, because it's not true. It's just, I tried it. It ain't true. I'm saving you the headache. Girl. All right, y'all. So just to recap, because y'all know I like to do my recaps. I was able to get a Square Capital loan, aka a merchant cash advance loan, through my payment processor. That is why I say just go ahead and run all your transactions through one processor, or at least that is what I do. I do have a Square's online store, so everything is being ran through Square except for my HSA and FSA cards. If you want a video on that, comment down below. Honey, that one might be a little private video though. But I got the game for you though. I got the tea if you need the tea. But anyways, yeah. So if you made it this far in the video, please comment Spy Hustler down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next video.